Good evening. You're watching the main news bulletin on Musanza TV. A look at the stories making headlines. Teachers recruited in 2020 to be placed on payroll. Women urged to create companies and apply for CDF. Bali promises vehicles for all chiefs countrywide. And in international news, as South Africa flood toll nears 400, rescuers continue search for missing. And in sports news, Chiefs Baxter worried about social media's effect on players. Join me as I bring you the details after this break.
Attention to all Mazabuka parents and schools. Abivist Gardens presents the first ever Abivist Gardens Spelling Bee. That's right. Does your child or pupil have what it takes to become the spelling champions of the town? Visit Abivist Gardens located in KLB for registrations. Competing ages: Group A, 6 to 10 years old. Participation fee is only 50 kwacha. Group B, 11 to 15 years old. Participation fee is only 100 kwacha. Amazing prizes to be won by our spelling champions. For more details, contact +260 7728 32885 or +260 976 609467. Abivist Gardens, your events paradise, promoting the development of bright minds.
Thank you for tuning in. With the details, my name is Annie Sangukayuka. Gears Initiative Zambia Executive Director Macdonald Chipenzi has commended the new Dawn administration for the peaceful and violence-free by-elections in Mongo, Western Province. Mr. Chipenzi states that the new Dawn administration has demonstrated its efforts towards the promotion of democracy in the country.
The by-elections that have just ended, I think, have demonstrated that political parties can still hold their elections with a tranquility that is supposed to be. We've seen how peaceful the by-elections have been. Actually, a number of people are surprised that we had by-elections. They only heard when some results were coming out. If it were in those in those days, would have heard of violence, police brutality, tear gassing, chasing of other political parties from the by-election areas. But I think this was extremely commendable for us to have a by-election, 2 or 3 by-elections, different places without any reports of violence. We also saw that despite the president being in all the by-election areas, none of the political parties was ejected out of those by-election areas. They went on with their political activities, and the president also went on with their political. This is what we want to see in our democracy. This is the democracy we were looking for, the electoral democracy we are looking for, not of fists, but of issues. We've seen that despite the unpopular decisions where fuel were being increased during the campaigns, still people had to vote for that political party. And it's very clear for any future political party that it's not about what you promise people. It's not about popularism. It is about how people feel when you talk to them, when you explain to them, and then they vote for you. We've seen that even DMMU was not as prominently in those areas as it were before. where we could see open bribery, open vote buying during elections. So we want to commend all political parties that took place. We want to commend those who have lost, those who have won, for making our electoral democracy work. And this is why we always contend that in as much as by-elections are being condemned, they are a necessary evil in our electoral democracy, and that's how we nurture our democracy, our electoral democracy. We are able to know which political party is gaining ground, which political party is declining in terms of support, and which political parties have continued to retain the support of the Zambian people. And we will be able now to start analyzing.
The opposition leadership movement has attributed the low voter turnout in the recent local government by-elections in western, southern and northern provinces to lack of awareness ahead of poll day by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. Party Media Director Lonely Tatila has called on the electoral body to explain to the nation why it failed to conduct voter education as required by the law. He also called on participating political parties, churches and other concerned bodies to engage in sensitization where there are upcoming elections to avoid voter apathy.
Arrogance of educated fools at the Electoral Commission of Zambia is responsible for voter apathy, and the only solution is to have new management. Voter apathy that characterized the just ended by-elections in Mongu, Katimba and Lukutula should be blamed on the Electoral Commission of Zambia management for not engaging political parties, the CBOs, civil society and the church on voter education in both areas. We expect the engagement that will be adequate because we know that numbers are with the church, numbers are with political parties, and civil society organizations are always in the community. This confirms that the Electoral Commission of Zambia current leadership is not serious, is very arrogant, not inclusive, and dysfunction. Let the Electoral Commission of Zambia Chief Executive Officer, Mr. Patrick Shindano, PR Patricia Luanga, Voter Education Manager Emma Mwenga Simfukwe, or the Commission Chairperson Issa Ochuru tell the nation if ECZ doesn't have funding for voter education. With this arrogant, I doubt the Electoral Commission of Zambia commitment towards continuous voter registration if it will commence or indeed intend to get its results before 2026 elections. Leadership movement demands for the change of management at the Electoral Commission of Zambia for a successful electoral process that will win the confidence of the majority poor Zambians who are voters.
The Ministry of Livestock and Fisheries says producing food for livestock all year round has the potential to grow the livestock sector and enhance household income. Fisheries and Livestock Forage Seed Specialist under the Enhanced Smallholder Livestock Investment Program, ISLIP, Dikoka Chingambu says provision of quality food all year round would not only reduce mortalities due to hunger but increase the livestock numbers in the country. He further said through ISLIP the ministry was promoting fodder and forage seed production in southern province to enhance energy and protein intake for livestock following persistent drought in the last 3 years. Angela Mwandovzanes has details in the following report.
As the rainy season comes to a close, the Ministry of Fisheries and Livestock is sensitizing farmers in Mazabuka district to start preparing food for their livestock ahead of the dry season. Dikoka Chingambu is the forage seed specialist under the ministry's Enhanced Smallholder Livestock Investment Program, ISLIP, and he explains the rationale behind the sensitization.
One of the biggest challenges that are existing now is basically the accessibility to good quality, in a layman's language, food for their animals. I said here where we are in Southern Province, it's one of those provinces that was badly hit by a drought, almost I think in 2018. So that also brought the need for some of these climate smart interventions. So some of these legumes, as you can see, like cowpea, is a very short, 1.5 months it's grown. It needs less rainfall. The moment we begin to provide food for livestock all year round, good quality food, what happens is that we are growing the livestock sector in the sense that you reduce on mortalities due to hunger. You should be able to have an animal within 2 years, 2.5, 3, with very good market weights of close to 400 or so kgs. that translates into household income.
Munjile Primary School head teacher Fizwell Chibweka highlights some of the benefits of the project.
When we harvest like cowpeas, we sell to the local farmers around. Because not every learner at the end of the day will be maybe we have a white collar job. Some they'll be farmers. So the knowledge that they're getting is going to help them to be better farmers.
This program ishandiswe tobalimi mbulimbo tuya muyuma yuma imugupawesu gutingombe hiriye butegwa tuba mugupa munji.
Angela Mandu, Zanis, Mazabuka District, Southern Province.
The continued high prices of crude oil on the international market will potentially result in another fuel price hike at the end of April, beyond the current prices, with such trends anticipated to sustain over the next few months. The Oil Marketing Companies Association of Zambia is anticipating around a 1 to 2% fuel hike at the end of April when the Energy Regulation Board, ERB, reviews fuel pump prices, while the conflict in Ukraine sustains negative effects on international pricing mechanisms. Association President Kafula Muvanga tells Phoenix News that the sustained war in Ukraine will continue to negatively affect the pricing of fuel in Zambia, especially that the country has no control over international pricing mechanisms. The current price of crude oil on the international market is over $108 per barrel, while the local price for petrol was last increased to 26 kwacha 50 ngwe from 21 kwacha 96 ngwe previously, and diesel up to 26 kwacha 22 ngwe up from 21 kwacha 54 ngwe, with both signaling an increase of over 4 kwacha 50 ngwe. And on recent revelations by Energy Minister Peter Kapala that government will remove all remaining subsidies and waivers on fuel by the end of June 2022, Dr. Mbanga is confident that government has conducted a thorough analysis to determine that the benefit of doing so would outweigh the losses, especially with the anticipated impact on ordinary citizens. Meanwhile, agroeconomist Frank Kayula has anticipated an increase in the price of fertilizer to over 1,000 kwacha per bag as a result of the ongoing Russia-Ukraine war, which will affect Zambia's food security. Dr. Kayula, in an interview with Phoenix News, says this will also likely see increased prices of seeds on the market, which will disadvantage farmers. Dr. Kayula says once price of seeds go up, it has the potential to affect beneficiaries of the Farmer Input Support Program, which will result in government reducing the number of beneficiaries on the program. He has, however, advised government to consider enhancing the use of sustainable agriculture and organic fertilizer in order to ensure nutrients are given to the soil to maintain productivity, as one way to cushion the impact the war in Russia and Ukraine has on the agriculture sector. Itezi Member of Parliament Twambo Mutinta says in order to see meaningful development and empowerment, especially in rural areas, there is need for women to form companies and apply for Constituency Development Fund, CDF. Mr. M. Mutinta tells Musanza TV that currently there are indications that very few women companies are competing in the CDF processes. He says the women are focusing on clubs and cooperatives, and very few women are prepared psychologically to compete in the mass constructions that are about to start in all the constituencies. Mr. Mutinta strongly feels that in order for the intention of CDF to be actualized, there's need for more women and girls to step up and go into the construction industry, form companies and be able to compete with men that have taken over this sector. The Itezi lawmaker has also appealed to the women movements and entrepreneurs to concentrate their energies in rural areas to inspire women to create companies. He advises these women groups to help create incentives for the women-led companies at the point of registration so that a lot of women can own these companies and be able to compete with men. Mr. Mutinta emphasizes that when these women make companies and participate fully in the CDF process, they will be able to make reasonable profit, and this is going to transform their lives. We now take a short break. We still have more stories coming up. Stay tuned.
Attention to all Mazabuka parents and schools. Abivist Gardens presents the first ever Abivist Gardens Spelling Bee. That's right. Does your child or pupil have what it takes to become the spelling champions of the town? Visit Abivist Gardens located in KLB for registrations. Competing ages: Group A, 6 to 10 years old. Participation fee is only 50 kwacha. Group B, 11 to 15 years old. Participation fee is only 100 kwacha. Amazing prizes to be won by our spelling champions. For more details, contact +260 7728 32885 or +260 976 609467. Abivist Gardens, your events paradise, promoting the development of bright minds.
Refresh your body, mind and soul this sizzling summer. Introducing the refreshing, clear with nature's taste Aquagel purified mineral water, ultimately designed to quench your thirst with a revitalizing and refreshing taste. Stock available: 750 ml, 500 ml, 350 ml, 500 ml sachets and 18.9 liters containers. Drink and enjoy your purified and corporately packaged water which passes all tests. Live better, drink better. Call 0776 452710 or 0760 732565 now to make your order. Aqua J for a refreshing sip.
Welcome back, and now we continue with the news. Residents of Kaonga and Namlonga compounds in Mazabuka district have complained over the deplorable state of township roads, especially during the rainy season. Those spoken to by Musanza TV complain that the road network needs to be worked on as a matter of urgency.
The rain season is almost over, and the majority of township roads in Mazabuka are still begging for attention. The road is more glaring. Most of the township roads are almost cut due to poor drainage system in most of the compounds in Mazabuka town. Kaonga and Namlonga compound roads are unexceptional as they have suffered a touch for some time now, even after the New Dawn government released the CDF fund to cater to the projects that need attention. This water has been stagnant for some time in one of the busiest Kaonga St. Paul's road that connects most of the people to the business. This has brought concerns among the residents, calling upon the local authority to move in and unblock the drainages and work on the roads that are in a deplorable state. Emmanuel Musanza, a Kaonga resident, tells this reporter how the road has been damaged due to uncontrolled rainwater.
Antidapo chabe kuno malodi kuno niyakufa kuipa. Mpia ankala almost for 15 years, nothing is happening here. No drainage, whatever. Matikango nkalila che malodi. So tafutika tudandaula kuno kuti batu yanganepo shuwa kuno kumayadi batipeze kama bampu whatever. Malodi yafuta kuno. So maezi na maezi ngodandaula po, but things are just the same. So kaya ngatuoneko bazatukanira po bwanji kaya kavutika pempako chape kuti ya maroji batukoza kuti madrainage, especially madrainage ona katara cheka ngena kai kuno is residential area katara cheka ngena che mushe at least because he so sure tavutika mondini mutandizeko tadandaula.
It is this high time that the people of this compound Kaonga can see development from the Mazabuka Municipal Council by the way of unblocking drainages that have of late caused floods within the compound, leaving others homeless. This is Vanson Chomba reporting from Musanza TV in Mazabuka.
President Hakainde Hichilema has promised to give chiefs countrywide vehicles, except for those that received several cars from the previous regime. He does not clearly state names, but said while some chiefs are complaining of lacking vehicles, some received as many as 3 vehicles in 2021. This follows a complaint from chiefs in Monze who say they last received motor vehicles from government in 2008. The head of state said this when he visited Monze on Wednesday. He says his administration would equalize the situation and supply other chiefs with cars, adding they would all be given the same type of vehicle for standardization. Speaking on behalf of Monze chiefs, Chief Chon has asked government to deliver on its promise of supplying them with vehicles. He says that chiefdoms are vast, hence the need for vehicles to help them monitor development in their territories. The 1,500 teachers who received appointment letters in 2020 but were not placed on the payroll will be included after their academic qualifications are scrutinized by the Ministry of Education. Minister of Education Permanent Secretary for Technical Services, Joel Kamoko, says government is working to resolve the matter to start paying the affected teachers who were recruited and given appointment letters in 2020. Mr. Kamoko said this when he paid a courtesy call on Copperbelt Province Permanent Secretary Augustine Kasongo. He said the 1,500 teachers have been advised to submit their academic qualifications to the Ministry of Education Human Resource Director at the headquarters for their credentials to be scrutinized. Mr. Kamoko urged the 1,500 teachers not to reapply for jobs in the ongoing recruitment exercise. A woman has reportedly died in Siankope village of Choma district after an elephant attacked her as she returned from fetching water Saturday morning. Siamungala village headman has confirmed the development to Baita FM News. Another resident, Tatinai Simutwe, confirmed seeing 2 elephants at his farm this morning while 6 were spotted at Siankope Primary School. It is not yet clear where the elephants are coming from. Police have also confirmed receiving reports but were rushing to the scene at the time of publishing the article. Choma District Commissioner Gamela Sikaleya has also rushed to the scene and promised to give a detailed statement later. The new Heritage Party has challenged government to review its alternative plan if the outcome of the Debt Sustainability Assessment, DSA, and Creditors Committee discussions do not succeed in light of the complexity of creditor coordination. Party President Chishala Kateka says there seems to be an impasse or obstacle in the discussions with Zambia's creditors. Ms. Kateka says it has now emerged that the IMF have been waiting for the Debt Sustainability Assessment and the outcome of the creditors' debt relief discussions. She says commercial creditors are not part of the creditors committee yet. They hold 46% of Zambia's external debt while China accounts for 22%. And the Heritage Party leader has asked government to share its plans for the way forward should the $1.4 billion IMF bailout package not actualize, and what plans it has for the repayment of the $750 million Eurobond that is due this year in September. She said government has not openly shared information with Zambians regarding the IMF program but has only pieced together through snippets only after the UK Minister of Africa's visit to Zambia. We now take our final break. When we come back, we have international and sports news. Stay with us.
A show that focuses on agriculture with associated environmental management issues.
Water is between human beings and the cattle.
Also looks at stakeholders in the agriculture sector. Discussing issues obtaining on the ground and suggesting improvements to enhance sustainable agriculture production in Zambia. The Farmer's Friend, only on Musanza TV.
Musanza TV, now broadcasting 24 hours every day nationwide. To advertise, call 0955 774299 or 0777 517742 or email musanzatv@gmail.com. Find us on Facebook at Musanza TV. Musanza TV, viewers first.
Zanungera kunuka lero. Sipase mafu ya kamina nchana. Iwe ntata iwe nsanya iwe. Sipase mafu ya kamina. Iyo. Leta mafu ya kamina.
Thank you for staying with us. And now we continue with international news. Police, army and volunteer rescuers widened on Friday the search for dozens still missing 5 days after the deadliest storm to strike South Africa's coastal city of Durban, in living memory as the death toll rose to nearly 400. 1 week after unprecedented rainfall struck the South African province of KwaZulu-Natal, now is time for grieving. Flood survivors learn every day that they have lost a sister, a father, a mother or children. In the city of Durban and its surrounding, nearly 400 bodies have been retrieved. However, the number of people unaccounted for is still being tallied. South Africa's second most populated province has lost 4,000 of its homes to landslides, mudslides and floods. More than 13,000 others have been damaged.
Africa now has its own voice. This is Africa News, the only international news channel made for Africa. An independent voice, bringing you unbiased reporting and all the voices shaping the future of the continent. Find out what Africa has to say. Africa News, your voice.
Sports news. Kaizer Chiefs mentor Stuart Baxter again reminded the South African sporting fraternity of the unseen effects social media has on the mental health of its stars. The issue has reared its head again in the build-up to Amakosi's DSTV Premiership meeting with SuperSport United, who are currently without a full-time head coach, at the FNB Stadium on Saturday. Baxter himself relentlessly bombarded on various platforms due to the side's inconsistent results, even revealed that he knows of one young player who turned to banned substances to deal with criticism. That sporting item brings us to the end of tonight's news. But before you go, a recap of the stories that were making headline. Teachers recruited in 2020 to be placed on payroll. Women urged to create companies and apply for CDF. Bali promises vehicles for all chiefs countrywide. And in foreign news, as South Africa flood toll nears 400, rescuers continue search for missing. And in sports news, Chiefs Baxter worried about social media's effect on players. Thank you for joining us tonight. Do make time at the same time tomorrow for more news. From me, Anin Samkayuka, and my transmission controller, Willard Mwemba, it's good night and God bless.
Refresh your body, mind and soul this sizzling summer. Introducing the refreshing Clear with Nature's Test Aqua Gel Purified Mineral Water, ultimately designed to quench your thirst with a revitalizing and refreshing taste. Stock available: 750 mils, 500 mils, 350 mils, 500 mils sachets and 18.9 liters containers. Drink and enjoy your purified and corporately packaged water which passes all tests. Live better, drink better. Call 0776 452710 or 0760 732565 now to make your order. Aqua J for a refreshing sip.